Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon. We are back with another video. Today, I'm showing you how to earn 200+% APY using TAO subnets and how some of these subnets are acting as real competitors to their AI centralized counterparties. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below. Hit subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and don't forget to grab your completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin, linked in the description. Grab it now, and let's jump into it. Okay, so I wanted to compare and contrast a few different subnets, comparing them against their centralized competitors. And you've seen me talk about Shoots on the channel before. I'm going to talk a little bit about Shoots again today, because what Shoots are doing with AI serverless compute is very, very impressive, and essentially becoming a real competitor to centralized counterparties just like OpenAI, Google Gemini, Anthropic, Claude, etc. And if I jump over to the Shoots.ai website, you'll get a bit of a better picture for what Shoots are actually doing. Serverless AI compute at scale. They're making it possible to run different open source models in the Shoots ecosystem with serverless compute, and we're seeing huge adoption of their ecosystem. Let's jump in and show you a quick comparison of what that looks like versus some of their centralized competitors. But today's video is also supported by Bitcast. Bitcast is the decentralized creators economy built on Bittensor. I've done plenty of videos about Bitcast. I'm going to be talking about them a little bit more at the end of this video. I will leave a link in the description for checking out Bitcast on X as well. But a marketing focused subnet honing in on the creator economy and building out relationships with creators and with brands. We'll talk about that in a moment. But just to explain the potential here with Shoots versus the likes of ChatGPT and Gemini as centralized competitors, the amount of token input output that Shoots are executing on a daily basis since inception is phenomenal, and on pace to outpace Google Gemini if we project forward a number of months. So what you're seeing here on the screen with this yellow mark here, this is the actual growth of Shoots over the past number of months. The green is the projected growth if we continue on this trajectory, and the blue and red here acting as ChatGPT and Gemini respectively, the centralized competitors for Shoots in this example. And we can see that if Shoots is to follow this trajectory, it's going to be a real competitor to the likes of OpenAI, ChatGPT, and Google Gemini. This is very exciting from a serverless, decentralized AI compute perspective, because it paints the picture that we really might have decentralized competitors to these centralized entities. We know the problems that centralized corporations have with owning user data. And if you're going to be putting your entire life into ChatGPT and Gemini and using these AI protocols, ultimately, you want to be owning that data and using a decentralized protocol that's going to allow you to maintain power and control over your identity and over your data. So that is the big thing here for me with Shoots, creating a real alternative to these centralized AI counterparties. And you have the potential to get exposure to Shoots by purchasing it in apps like TAO Stats, and again, earning phenomenal staking yield from executing and owning the subnet alpha token. As you can see over here on TAO Yield, you can get 103% right now for owning and staking the Shoots subnet alpha token. That is a phenomenal yield, and you have the ability potentially to see Shoots outperforming TAO over the coming months as we move through this bull cycle. The next subnet I wanted to draw everyone's attention to is Towash. And Towash are acting as a decentralized proof of work mining hash rate subnet on the Bittensor ecosystem, acting as a real competitor to other centralized mining corporations, just like Marathon Digital, like Riot Platforms, CleanSpark, Hut 8, Iconic, Bitfufu. You've probably seen many of these different mining corporations that are mining Bitcoin and that have become essentially some of the largest entities in the Bitcoin and crypto space by racking up huge amounts of Bitcoin on their balance sheets. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's legitimate public companies here that we're talking about that you can get exposure to in the stock market. But there is an argument made by a lot of people in the Bitcoin and crypto space that the centralization of mining hash rate has been only continuing to increase because you've got Marathon, Riot, CleanSpark making up the vast majority of the entire hash rate in the Bitcoin ecosystem. And subnets like Towash are aiming to solve that problem by decentralizing proof of work with mining hash rate on the Bittensor network and essentially able to mine Bitcoin using decentralized proof of work hash rate. So this is an exciting kind of spin-off and a new way for miners to pool resources together in the form of hash rate to mine Bitcoin in a more decentralized fashion. And they had some pretty exciting growth here. As you can see, over the past few months, we had a big run up in price here, going from 0.0005 tau hash per tau all the way up as high as 0.2 tau hash per tau. And obviously we've been correcting a little bit since then, but still way up since these April, May lows, and lots of exciting stuff happening here in terms of tau hash as well. So it is becoming a real competitor, a decentralized competitor to these large public companies mining Bitcoin. And again, we're all here to see Bitcoin and crypto continue to grow and win, but with Towash acting as a decentralized permissionless protocol on the Bittensor network, you're seeing further distribution, wider distribution of hash rate, and more decentralization of hash rate and the entities and people actually mining Bitcoin. So that's very exciting for me. And if we jump over to taoyield.com once again, and we type in Tau hash to check out the type of yield you can be generating, currently you're getting 96% APY for simply owning and staking the Tau hash subnet alpha token. So again, if you feel like Tau hash has a legitimate business use case and is going to continue to increase in value versus Tau, following the trajectory it's already on, you're going to see some great returns, and you can be generating an additional 96, 97% APY from having exposure to this protocol. Very exciting stuff. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, today's video is supported by Bitcast. Again, a decentralized creator economy on the Bittensor ecosystem. Looking at Bitcast, we can see the price is currently sitting at 0.006 Bitcast per tau, which is equal to about $2.13. And again, we've had a really nice increase in price here over the past couple of months as we've seen Bitcast outperforming tau natively. And of course, as you have exposure to Bitcast, you're also generating phenomenal staking yield, which we'll look at in a moment. But Bitcast is acting essentially as a competitor to all of these different centralized marketing agencies. You think about the problem they're honing in on. If Bittensor and Tau needs more exposure, Bitcast are solving that problem by bringing creators on one side of the equation, lining them up with brands, and getting brands that attention and exposure that they need from a marketing standpoint, with an incentive mechanism that rewards those creators with the subnet alpha token for Bitcast, essentially mining the Tau network and earning yield over time. So it's a phenomenal way for brands and creators to gather more attention towards their businesses, get more eyeballs on their products. And Bitcast have seen growth from not just a price perspective, but they're also bringing agencies on board to get more creators, grow the network, and continue to expand. Like I said a moment ago, Bitcast is serving up some pretty phenomenal staking APY as well, generating in excess of 203% APY right now from holding and staking the Bitcast subnet alpha token. Once again, if we're going to see this trajectory moving up and to the right with outperformance of Bitcast against Tau, not a bad investment to be making and getting that 203% plus APY. Again, nothing in this video is financial advice, guys. Always do your own research. I wanted to break it down, compare some of these subnets to their centralized competitors so you can understand how decentralized AI compute is starting to actually get adoption, being used, and we're seeing prices increasing as a result. That is it for today's video, guys. Remember, if you got any value at all, please just take 3 seconds, drop a thumbs up on the video below, smash that thumbs up, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification icon as well. If you want to see more content about subnets, about Tau, let me know in the comments what you want to see more of. I will create the content. Drop a comment below this video and we'll catch you in the next one.